Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show here on Channel 1. On The Point of View, we get the right guests. We ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you. I have a special show for you tonight. It was a very busy weekend for the legal and accounting fraternity. Over 770 fresh lawyers were called to the bar in an impressive ceremony on Friday. Led to massive amounts of traffic in town. Not to be outdone, accountants, over 1,100 of them, were also, I won't say called to the bar, but essentially they attained the status of full accountants, some fellows, members, and associates. Tonight, we speak to them about their hopes and aspirations for their country and how professionals can influence public life. It's a very interesting panel. Stay tuned. Welcome. So tonight, we're talking to three people, two brilliant new lawyers and a new chartered accountant. Gertrude Emefa Donko is the immediate past president of the Law Students Association of the Ghana School of Law. Gertrude, welcome to the show. Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
You are the first woman to hold that position in how many years?
14 years. First elected female.
First
actually.
elected female.
Yes,
We hope it's the first of many. First of many other things.
Yes, first of many other things.
Hopefully.
God willing, yes.
Absolutely. Thank you. Martin Wana-Ang is the valedictorian, best graduating student for the 2024 class. Also valedictorian for his faculty a couple of years ago at KN University. He's here with us. Martin, good to have you.
Good to have you. Good to be on the show as well.
How are you, Martin?
I'm very well. Thank you very much.
It is such a pleasure to see you. I've heard of your exploits. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Bernard.
Wonderful. So apart from the 777 new lawyers, we also have 1,133 new accountants. And I'm very privileged to have Kekeli Akpalu, who's one of the best of the graduating accountants. He's chartered as a full professional accountant, joining us as well. Kekeli, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing so much well.
Did you graduate or they were called to the bar? So what's yours called?
So ours is, first of all, you graduate as a student and then you are called into membership as well.
So you are now a member?
So I'm a full member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana.
Some people were associates.
Yes, some people were associates. So what happens is that the distinction is if you're an associate, it means you're done with the exam. However, to become a full member, you need some years of practice.
Okay.
In the accounting field, you need about 3 years of practicing accounting, ICT, tax, or audit.
Okay.
Then you can be called into full membership as a chartered accountant.
So you're a full accountant?
Full accountant.
I can't take it away from you.
So now you're calling me, you call me Kekeli Akpalu CA.
My God.
Chartered accountant.
Kekeli Akpalu CA.
Exactly.
Is yours ACC or the Ghana ICAG? What's the difference?
Mine is ICAG Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is the professional body of Ghanaian accountants.
Yes.
ACC is which one?
So ACC is London. Let me put
so it's
it
British.
That way. That's British.
Are there more ICAG?
Yes, we have a number of them. So there's ICA England and Wales.
So if I take all the accountants in Ghana, are there more people who do ICAG or who do ACCA?
Well, currently more people do the ICAG than ACCA. Yeah.
Wonderful. I hear that ICAG is tougher. Is it true?
It's relative.
Is
Because we run almost the same papers.
Wow.
Almost the same papers, yes. So it's likely you can see a question from ACCA showing in ICAG.
So to become an accountant, what do you need to do? Before you took the professional course, what did you study?
Well, I studied accounting in UPSA for my first degree.
All right.
I went further to master it by reading masters in accounting and finance.
You have a master's degree?
Yes, so I have an MBA in accounting and finance.
Hey! So you did first degree accounting?
I did first degree pure accounting.
And then you have an MBA in accounting?
In accounting and finance.
Finance?
Yes.
Then you decided to write the professional course?
Yes.
Did they give you any exemptions for your...
Well, I started right after my degree in accounting, so I had level 1 exempted and then 2 papers in level 2. So I wrote 4 papers in level 2 and then wrote the
How long does it take
4.
somebody to prepare to write those 4 levels?
There are currently 3 levels, level 1,
yeah.
2, 3. We have a space of 3 months to prepare.
Per level of paper?
Yes, a level of paper. So what happens is for level 1, you are able to write all 4 papers at a sitting.
Hey.
Yes. Yeah.
Some people do that?
Yeah, people do.
All the
people,
4?
All the 4.
What?
Because for me, my final level, I wrote all the 4. However, my first attempt, I got 2 papers out of the 4.
Wow.
And my second attempt, I got 1 paper.
So then it becomes 3.
Exactly, it became 3. So I was left
So once
with
you
one.
pass, you've passed.
Once
They
you've
don't
passed,
say it because you failed.
Gone were the days where for the final level, if you write all 4, you are supposed to write all 4 for final level.
Wow.
Once you write all 4 and even you pass 3, you have to write a 4 again. But it's not so currently.
So let me get, thank you for that. Let me get Martin's journey. So he, accounting. I suspect you also law. Where did you start from?
Okay, so
On the tertiary level before you come secondary?
Yes, I went to Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, K University.
Okay.
So I pursued the Bachelor of Laws. That's my first degree.
That's the so-called LLB.
LLB at
Okay.
the Faculty of Law, K University.
Okay.
And so I started in 2018, and by September 2022, I was done.
So it's a 4-year course.
Yeah, 4-year course. Then thereafter, you know, when you are done with the LLB, you have to go to the Ghana School of Law, because that's the only school that can train you to become a lawyer, to do an additional 2 years. And so I proceeded to write the entrance exams. And
This is for Makola.
yes, Makola. Yes.
So you entered Makola in 2022.
2022. Yes.
And then you
so
spent
we
2 years
started
there.
in November 2022, and then we spent almost close to 2 years.
2 years.
And so we just were called last Friday, 11th October 2024.
And you're the best graduating student of the 777.
Yes. So we call it the John Mensah Saba Memorial Prize for the overall best performing student for the professional law course.
And how many courses do you do in the professional? Or how many subjects or whatever?
10 courses.
10 courses?
Yes.
Do you remember the names of the courses?
Yeah. So so the course is called professional law course, but it is divided into 2. So we have part 1 and part 2. The part 1 is more or less like first year.
Okay.
So you do 6, or let me say almost 7 courses, because one of the courses is like a major. So
I want to know the names of the courses.
we do civil procedure,
Civil procedure.
we do criminal procedure, company law and commercial practice, alternative dispute resolution, we do law practice management and legal accountancy, and then we do law of evidence.
All in the first part.
All in the first part.
Okay.
So law practice management and legal accountancy, you see that there are 2 different courses, but they are merged or put together.
They're like management courses. Because you want to run your law firm.
Law firm.
You need to
Yes,
understand some of those things.
Yeah.
So that's all part 1.
part 1. So 6 courses.
And when you finish, you write an exam.
Yeah. So in the law school, we don't have anything like mid-semester or.
So one exam.
One exam.
After the 6.
After the 6.
And you have to pass all 6.
You have to. So I mean, you have to pass all 6 if you don't want to risk it. But if you feel 1 or 2, you would still be promoted to part 2.
And then
but
you can write the others later.
Yeah, this. But if you feel 3, you have to repeat and take everything again.
And then part 2, what do you study?
So part 2, we do 4 courses. We did interpretation of deeds and statutes. Then you do family law and practice. Then conveyancing and drafting.
Okay.
And then advocacy and legal ethics about the profession that you are coming to. So 4. So the 4 in part 2 together with 6.
10.
Yes, 10.
So what you do in Makola is the practice of law, as against what you did in faculty, which is more like the philosophy or something. What's the difference?
So we say that at the faculty level, you do substantive law, like you do more or less like the law itself, getting to know what it is about. But for the law school, they train you about the procedure,
how
the courtroom. Yes. And
so what it is about is the faculty, and then how it works in practice.
In practice is the law school. Although we have some courses that, if you consider it carefully, you see that it is also like substantive, but they still teach it at the law school. Yeah.
Interesting. Has he gotten everything correct?
Perfectly.
So
you saw me nodding to everything.
Yes, I noticed you
yeah.
were.
Yeah.
So it's a 2-year course at Makola.
Yes, 2 years course.
And you're the first female elected SRC president.
Yes.
Wow. So this was for 2023.
2023-2024 academic year.
How many people contested against you?
We're 5 in all, 5 on the presidential ticket.
And
2
only the winner
females.
gets to be president.
Yes, only the winner gets to be
But
president.
you had 2 or 3 vices.
Yes, so the vice is a different
So
portfolio.
they also ran for vice.
Their own, election, separate
And you are
from
the
ours.
first woman to run and win.
Yes,
And now we have a woman bar president as
Yes,
well.
yes.
So do you think God is doing something there? Or
I think so.
Is there something going on?
I think there is something
We have
going
the
on.
second, third female CJ.
Yes.
We've had a female speaker before. We have, what else do we have? Who's a woman? In the AG. We've had a female
Yes,
AG.
we have
as well.
a female AG.
Wow.
We had the first female GBA president.
Yeah.
Female GBA president. So it's so he did law at
Female
KNUST.
Vice Chancellor at
You
UD.
did-
Yes, female vice chancellor.
Vice Chancellor.
Yes,
Yeah, female
yes,
Chancellor
yes,
as well.
Yes.
So you did law at KNUST
Yes.
and then you continued at Makola. So it's law you want to do?
Yes, I think straight from the secondary school.
It's
that-
law. No, I'm just using that to come to. I'll come back to
yes,
your
so
journey.
it's law.
So law.
Yes, I
Tech
see.
law, Makola law. You are a
Yes.
lawyer full.
Full. Yes, but I mean, as I progress, I'm going to specialize in certain areas,
Okay.
which may not be really about the legalistics, but
I
it
get
still has to do with law.
I get it. So how did you enter law? Because you didn't do law direct from undergrad. What did you study undergrad, by the way?
So University of Ghana, I studied English and psychology, combined major. And then I
Okay.
progressed to UPSA, marketing.
Oh wow, that's a long journey. English psychology,
Yes,
then marketing.
Yes.
Is it an MBA?
MBA, marketing.
So English and psychology Legon is 20 what?
I graduated in 2014, sorry, rather,
Then UPSA for MBA.
MBA. Then
Which-
that was 2018, I
2018.
graduated as the best graduating student.
You're also the best graduating student.
Yes.
And then, so you're the valedictorian
No, best graduating student for marketing.
for marketing.
Yes.
Then, where did you do your law?
GIMPA.
So you've done Legon, UPSA.
UPSA and then GIMPA.
No wonder you won the election. You already- the Legon people will vote.
The
UPSA
UPSA
people
people
will vote.
vote.
So you already had a...
Exactly. I had my constituency already.
Wow. Wow. So then you did... You are mates, right?
Yes. Martin and I are mates.
So you entered law school 2022 November.
2022. I wrote the entrance exams in 2022 and then entered. I graduated in 2022 and then wrote the entrance exams and then
Straight
straight to the...
from UPSA into law.
Yes. From GIMPA
So-
to law.
For you, it's been a journey of English psychology, marketing into law. So why law?
Law has always been at the background. I just needed the right time to zoom into it. So, I worked in the bank for over a decade. I needed a marketing background. I needed to speak good English so I could convince my customers.
Okay.
But law has always been there. And so after my master's, I thought it was right for me to start, which is why I decided to do the law.
So you've explained the journey, but what do you want to use the law to do now? Is it just to make money, to be prominent?
No.
What do you want? Why do you want to be a lawyer?
I think law is very fundamental.
Okay.
It's basic. It's everybody should study law, if you ask me.
Okay.
And so, which is why I said I did other things, but law has always been at the background because I need the law in everything. So I'm doing the law so I could be safe with every other thing I do.
So you think it's fundamental to understanding the functioning of
Very
society?
fundamental.
Wow.
The society, progresses when our laws are solid. The society thrives on law. Everything we do is law. The food we eat is regulated by law. The water we drink. Even you as a journalist, Mr. Avley, you know that you cannot just say anything without verifying your information.
Yeah.
Because there are people who are depending on what you are saying.
Yeah.
There's somebody's image who may be at stake if you don't say the right things,
Yeah.
and then you may be in trouble. So the law regulates every aspect of our lives.
So even if you don't want to be a lawyer, it's important to understand the way the law works.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly.
But you are now lawyers. The two of you are lawyers.
Yes.
Okay. Let me take a so for you, why do you want to be? Okay. No, I won't even say why do you want to be. You're already an accountant. So what was the motivation?
Way back, okay, I love numbers.
Okay.
English. I love the maths, I love the statistics. But I think growing up, my daddy once mentioned, I said I want to be a bank manager.
You told you want to be a bank manager.
That was what he said.
Okay.
So I think growing up, I loved the whole money, the whole statistics, the whole mathematics bit. And I think that's the best way to go. But yeah, so I think at a point I wanted to veer off and go into the sciences, but my daddy was like, no, this is what you told me when you were growing up. So
stay there.
So just stay there. And I think I also appreciate him for that, because right from high school, got into UPSA and I loved it.
Because UPSA is known for the professional courses.
Exactly.
So did you study business in secondary school?
Yes, I studied business in secondary school.
And I'm told that accounting is like the prize course at UPSA. So it's almost like the toughest class.
Yes, the toughest class, to put it.
Because a lot of people there want to charter.
Yes.
So how tough was it in the first few years?
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. Because I didn't have a costing background from SHS, but it's one of.
What did you do at SHS?
I read econs, I read elective maths, I read business management, and then financial accounting.
So the costing was what you had in, what they call cost accounting?
Yes, cost accounting. I didn't have any experience.
But you had elective maths, so you should be fine.
It was tough.
Still. What secondary did you go to?
I went to West African Senior High School.
Just here?
Yes, was.
Wonderful. So your whole life has been this area? West Africa Secondary, UPSA?
UPSA,
wow.
Around. Yeah.
Amazing. But what about you, Martin? Have you always wanted to be a lawyer?
Quite interesting. So, growing up, I had funny or interesting ideas of what I wanted to become. So, I intended to be a doctor. So, I wanted to study science.
Okay.
Yes. And then also, aside that, whilst I was in primary and junior high school, I was an altar servant. So, people started calling me a reverend father.
You were on the pathway.
Yes.
To the vocation.
Of course. And actually, I went to a minor seminary.
Wow.
That trains you to now go into the major seminary as
so this is St. Francis
Xavier Junior Seminary. It's in the Upper West region.
So you were on the path to priesthood.
Nearly.
And then what happened?
So when I went to St. Francis Xavier, you write entrance exams to be admitted there, even with the BC.
Separate from BC?
Yes.
Hey.
And so I was given general arts.
Okay.
Initially, I didn't want to do it, but my family advised that I should continue with that. And so, in the process of studying general arts, I realized that, Ghana here, when you study general arts, it's either you are going to do law, business admin, political science, those courses. So, and at that time, because of the prestige that is attached to law, and then also I considered that when you study law, there are various opportunities or avenues that are available that you can explore. And so that was actually what informed my decision to study law. That was at a later stage when I was in the final year, because when I was studying the general arts, I loved geography a lot. So I was thinking about astronomy and those kind of things. Yes, but eventually I settled on law.
Wow.
Now, in the course of studying law at KNUST and the Ghana School of Law, I've come to realize that it's not just about the avenues that are available, but then law is an instrument of social change. We call it social engineering.
Okay.
Yes, so it permeates every fabric of society. Journalism, the governance structure, politics, when you talk about corporate organization and all that, law plays a very important role. And so, coming to this realization, I realized that, okay, I can actually use it to make a positive impact, not necessarily the avenues that it will open to me, but also one fundamental thing is the fact that once you become a lawyer, you have a voice that when you speak, people would listen. And
so your objective is social change. Law is just your vehicle.
Yes. And I say that because when you consider, we have this philosopher in sociology called Thomas Hobbes, who said that life is brutish, nasty, without any form of organized structure, backed by law that is moderating or directing that. And so if we take a society like Ghana, without law, everything will be so disorganized. And so I believe that law is a vehicle of change, but then that is not the only means. It is just a means to an end. But then we the people in Ghana, we also have various individual roles that we can play to ensure that this law that we are talking about can achieve its purpose. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that if we pass laws, you can pass over 1,000 laws, but it don't bring about the change. It's about the willingness to enforce those laws and make them work. That is going to bring about the change.
So you are a thoroughbred lawyer, a thoroughbred accountant, but you have a more rich in terms of tapestry of things. Started as somebody who studied English and philosophy, psychology. Then you worked, did marketing, and then you said law has always been there.
Yeah.
So he wants social change through law. He wants to be a bank manager, and his father says you should do. So what do you want to do?
I am completely aligned with Martin. The social change bit. You cannot take it away. Otherwise, what is the essence of studying law? Is it just to make money and put in your pocket? You know, so I think the most important.
That is not to say that you can't use the law to make
of course,
money.
of course. But you know, it's always at the end you
Yes.
get it. You know, it's one of those things that would eventually come. But I think if you ask me, one of the major or importance of law is the social change bit, because you want to be able to use the law to change the society, to bring about development. And so I'm completely aligned with Martin when it comes to my purpose or the reason why I want to do the law.
How different or interesting was it coming to law from the varied background that you came to it from? Did you find psychology, English, marketing useful in your study of the law?
Those were just the means to an end. You know, the law has always been, you know how you have a goal, there's something you are looking at, you aim at something, and then along the way you pass here, pass there. So finally getting to read the law for me is the icing on the cake, you know. So, and the experience is different. Getting called to the bar on Friday, I don't think I can describe the feeling, and I've never felt this way in my life.
Even though you graduated twice?
Exactly, even though I've graduated twice.
So this is different?
This is very different.
Wow.
I didn't get to win the valedictorian like he did, as I did, for the MBA. But this is different.
This is different. Is it because the wig?
No, it's not a wig. Those ones are just for the euphoria.
What makes it so? I saw so many photos of lawyers. Did you do a special photo shoot? Why is it so special to graduate as a lawyer?
Mena, the journey is tough. I have to say, the journey is tough. Right from the LLB through to the professional. We hear stories of how people have written the entrance exams 5 times, 10 times, and, you know, they are not able to make it. So it is very competitive, it is tough, which is why it is a big win for us when we eventually get called. Big win.
We're talking to some smart new professionals, 2 lawyers and an accountant. Gertrude Emefa Donko is the first female elected president of the Law Students Union or Association at the Makola or SRC, and she graduated over the weekend called to the bar with Martin Wana-Ang, who was the best graduating student of the 777. I also have Kekeli Akpalu, who's a newly minted chartered accountant. When we come back, we'll talk about what professionals can do to help our country. How do they feel about the country, their future? Some of them are millennials, some are beyond. We'll talk about all of that. Stay with us. Welcome back. Tonight, the point of view is reflecting on society with some newly minted professionals. I have 2 lawyers and an accountant. This was a busy weekend. Almost 2,000 new professionals were inducted, 1,133 new accountants chartered, and of course 777 new lawyers. I have 3 of the best. Gertrude Emefa Donko is the former president. She just handed over, or she will be handed over. Have you handed over?
I've handed over. I'm a lawyer now.
Okay. Are you all working? So are you working?
When it comes to the lawyers, I just started my pupillage.
Which will last how long?
6 months, at least 6 months.
So that's like understudying to be mentored.
Exactly.
And then after that, what happens?
After that, you're a full-blown
lawyer.
You're qualified to practice.
Also, pupillage is a necessary part of your...
It is.
I see.
To get the license.
Get the license, yes.
But you're also a pupil.
Yes.
But you are teaching as well.
Yes, so I'm a graduate assistant.
A graduate assistant?
Yes, I did.
Which means you really understood the course. I heard you won a subject prize as well.
Yes, that was in civil procedure.
Civil procedure?
Yeah.
Wow. As against criminal procedure?
Yes. So we have civil procedure as a course and then criminal procedure as a course.
So if I sue him for stealing my money, if I sue him for breach of contract, it's civil?
Yes, for breach of contract, it's civil. And then you have to...
But if he comes to my house with a gun to take my money, it's criminal?
Criminal.
So they are different?
So they are different. So civil procedure is like it gives you the steps or the procedure or formalities to follow to prosecute a civil action. Okay. Civil action is like matters relative to breach of contract. Okay. Torts, like when someone commits a tort, maybe assaults you or something like that, or falsely imprison or causes your prosecution without any basis. Okay. Then you can take the person on through the civil procedure aspect. Criminal procedure is what the state and then maybe criminal defense councils or...
So civil is between two individuals?
Yes.
Criminal is between the state
and then the public. Sorry, and then an individual. Yes.
Okay, I see. So how come in the US you have people who are, for example, Kamala Harris is a sort of like an attorney who's prosecuting. And then there are people who build their profession as defense lawyers. But in Ghana, I think Ghana, people do both. I'm not sure we have that. Am I wrong?
No, you are right.
In Ghana, you can be both.
You can be both.
But in America, usually you pick the path for...
Yes, yes.
Why?
In Ghana, you have people doing criminal, the criminal law, civil, everything.
They can defend and they can also...
Yeah, but generally it's about specialization.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that the US is... I cannot speak to whether there's a law restriction that, but then you have the opportunity in Ghana to do everything if you want to. If you want to be a jack of all trades, then you can do that. But normally, the reason why people do that is to ensure that, okay, you get enough cases to handle.
Okay. Let's talk about, I'll come back to you. Yeah. Both of you talk about social change. What kind of change do you want to see? Because you feel law is the vehicle you want to use. So what is wrong with society that you think you can use law to change? MFI?
Everything is wrong.
Everything is wrong.
I don't know where to start from.
Everything is wrong.
Everything is wrong.
Wow.
Everything is wrong, from the top to the down. I mean, the issues we are facing now here in our jurisdiction, issues with galamsey, environment, our water bodies, even politics, government strike, everything is wrong.
Everything is wrong.
Everything is wrong.
Is it for want of good law, or why is law your tool? Because my tool is journalism.
Right. I think that when it comes to laws, we have laws, if you ask me. My opinion is that we have good laws in this country. Implementation and going according to those laws is our problem. How, when you flout the law, you're supposed to be punished for it. We don't do that. And so these are the problems that we face in this country.
Implementing good laws is part of it.
Implementing good laws. As for the laws, we have very good laws in the country. It's implementation and then the ability of citizens to abide by the laws. These are the problems that we have.
I was listening to somebody who said he thinks one of Ghana's problems is we are legalistic, but we are not ethical.
Right.
So it is legal to do something. Because if you look at black letter law, that's what the law says. But you can behave in a certain way, which even though may be legal, may not necessarily be ethical. So the person thinks that one of the problems with Ghana is that we're over legal but not ethical enough. I don't know what you think. Do you agree with him?
I would say to some extent, yeah. Because we have all the good laws in this country. We talk about laws on corruption. We have established the Office of Special Prosecutor Act, that, and then the Office to prosecute corruption and corruption-related activities. We have the Constitution that talks about, it's structured in a way to ensure accountability. We have laws on the environment, laws virtually on everything. There are laws on even wearing the coat of arms. If you are not in a certain category,
you can't wear. So there are laws on everything.
Yes, there are laws on everything.
Yet our behavior, it doesn't.
Yes. So it's not really about the laws, but about one, enforcement of those laws, the attitudes towards of those who are supposed to enforce those laws, to enforce them, attitude of the people as well, to abide by those laws, to ensure that it serves us all. So, for example, if we take the Constitution, for example, it talks about ideals or objectives that an ideal democratic state should, like Ghana, should strive to attain. That is the 1982 Constitution. That's not the first time we had something like that. That's the directive principles of state policy. The previous constitutions, like 1969, 1979, had similar provisions. But from that time up to now, let me even say 30 years down the line, some of those ideals have not been implemented. And then the chorus that is always sung by people in power to ensure that there's that particular changes, that, okay, we don't have sufficient or enough resources to be able to do that. But everything starts from somewhere. So when you look at the directive principles of state policy, it talks about political objectives, cultural objectives. We have educational objectives, economic and social.
So they're all there.
They are all there.
Yet we are not able to implement them. Basically, it's what she said as well.
Basically. And
so what is wrong? Is it that the way the people are bad when they get into politics? Is it that when you get to government, it's different than what it's written? Or let me let you think about it. There's a lot of corruption in Ghana. And somebody was saying to me that financial corruption will not happen without the help of an accountant. Because if I want to do tax fraud, or if I want to misreport what I buy, or even illicit financial flows, there's always some accounting or finance thing. So do you accountants take the blame for corruption in Ghana? Some of the blame?
Some, yes, I would say some. However, we are good people, let me put it that way. Yes.
You are what?
We are good people. Because once you are an accountant, you see, I think we don't really get the profession well. It's not everybody who is an accountant. Some people are just finance people or account officers. Once you become an accountant, you are governed by principles. So
what are those principles?
Integrity, independence, professional competence, and due care.
Take it easy. Integrity. Independence.
Yes.
So if you're an accountant in a firm, your MD should not be able to influence your judgment around the books.
Very, very important.
And then professional what?
Professional competence and due care.
Which means you understand what you are doing, whether it's audit or tax or whatever. Professional competence and due care. That's all in one.
That's number 3.
Number 3. Which one is it?
Professional behavior.
Professional behavior.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
And then which one again?
And the one that stands out is confidentiality. That is where the issue comes in. Once confidentiality. Yes, because once I see the books, I know what is in there. If I don't tell you this is what is coming and this is what is going, you wouldn't know. And so you want to, once this huge sum is coming, then maybe me being the MD or the CEO, I'm seeing this huge money coming, so probably I want to do something. If I don't tell you, you wouldn't know what is coming in, what is going on. So
where do you think most... Okay, of course, you're a new accountant, so I don't want to put you into too much trouble. But these 5, they don't have equal weights. I'm sure some are more...
Some are...
Integrity is strong.
Integrity is like number 1 on the chart.
Integrity is number 1 on the chart. Yes. Do they test you for these things?
Yes. So even in writing the professional program, one of the courses, strategic case study. Yes, it is embedded in that course. Corporate reporting is embedded in that course. So we call it ethics of accounting. You will find it there, or codes of conduct. You find it in that course. You find it in advanced audit. You find it in advanced tax. In all the 4 papers in the part 3, you would find a portion that talks about.
But you can get the answer correct. But when you are faced with a situation, you do something different.
Yes.
So, and that's not your fault. That's more a limitation with education, right? So that you can theoretically understand something, but in terms of application in real life, is a different. Is there a work requirement as part of your your qualification, do you have to have worked somewhere?
Yeah, you'd have to.
And when you work, is there some assessment of you ethically before you are given the professional qualification?
Yes, so what happens is once you are done and then you need to sign in up for membership,
Yeah.
you need confirmation from 3 referees. Now, out of those 3 referees, one should be a chartered accountant in good standing. One should also be your immediate boss or past boss from any of the places you've worked with. And then, so as part of the questions they ask these referees are various points. So the integrity and then the professional due care and all of that are embedded in questions they ask your referees.
So theoretically, all 1133 of you
Yes.
have some ethical, somebody has vouched for you ethically.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
For full members.
For full membership.
But the associates, for now, I can't tell for them because they don't have the practical experience. Yes, they don't have the practical experience.
Wow. The reason I'm pushing this is professionals are very important in Ghana.
Yeah.
We are talking about Galamsey. Doctors, scientists, toxicologists have, in a way, led the charge recently because they've used their professional judgment to say what is happening is wrong and everybody else has followed. So a lot of people feel like, people say our politics is not going well. If professionals rose up, engineers, lawyers, accountants, even marketers, and they adhered to the ethics of their profession, we can better change society. What do you think?
I agree. Absolutely. I agree. It's one thing being a professional, is another thing abiding by the rules of the profession. Because for the law, for instance, that which is why we do the legal ethics. There is an ethics aspect of it. So it's
you also do ethics?
Yes, we do ethics.
Wow.
We do ethics. So we have LI 2423, we have the Act 32, we have the GBA code, you know, and these are rules that we are supposed to abide by. They define the ethics, the conduct which the lawyers have to abide by. So I think that if we are all able to, as professionals, abide by our respective ethics, we shouldn't have problems. We shouldn't have problems. Like I said, the rules are there, the laws are there.
Does the profession create space to call out those who are errant?
Yes.
Because there's also peer review.
Yes.
Because it seems to me as if professionals are like a club of friends. So if one does even something wrong, somehow because they are part of the elite, they cover the person. Whereas in some professions, they will say, this person doesn't qualify to be part of our group. We don't seem to see a lot of that in Ghana, at least as far as I know.
Well, it does from where I come from. ICAG, once those things happen, you are called to the disciplinary committee. If it's that bad, you are revoked of your license.
I don't want to put you in trouble, but you know, we had a big banking crisis, and some of the challenges there were accounting. When Enron collapsed, it was because of the role they played in some companies and the way they... But a lot of these banks that collapsed, they were audited. And they were given clean bills of health. Yet the firms continue running. So it seems to me as if here, the standard may not be the same. You follow my logic? Again, you are a young accountant, so I don't want you to say anything that will cost you your job. But is that not part of the problem, where we sort of tolerate or find a way of glossing over? We don't pursue to say, how did this happen? Whose dereliction or who signed this off? All right? It's almost like when you do that, it's like you're trying to destroy somebody's life. So we'll rather keep quiet.
Well, I think the leniency has become too much.
Think so?
Yes, the leniency has become
You should crack the whip.
Yes, we have to go deeper.
Are you working in any of the big four?
No, I had an opportunity with PwC some years back.
So for now, you're working in?
I'm currently in the normal industry.
Is it every accountant's aim to work in one of those? Not even the big four, there are others.
Not really.
So you can work in a non-accounting firm as a full accountant?
Yes, as a full accountant, yeah.
So are you interested in tax more, or audit more, or advisory? What are you interested in?
Tax more.
Tax?
Mine is more of tax.
Why do you like tax?
Tax is full of loss anyways, so you
may end up in their school?
Yeah, I have that long-term goal of...
They always come. They always come.
Yes,
the 777, those of us who were just called to the bar, we have accountants amongst us, we have doctors amongst us, because people are increasingly becoming aware that you need the law. So practically, we cannot all become lawyers, but necessarily you must read the law. You must have a level of exposure when it comes to the law. They know.
Are you happy with the new numbers? I believe you guys, the group before you was more.
Yes, they were over, plus the mini call and the main call, over 1,400.
Wow.
And we are 1,777 so far.
So
Then
just in
our
the 2
mini call
years.
will
So
come.
just in the 2 years, almost 2,000.
Yes.
Wow, that's
Yes.
a lot.
That sounds a lot. It looks a lot. But
No,
you
a lot
see,
compared to the past.
compared to the past, yes, of course.
But
And
compared to what we need more.
we need more. We are actually under-lawyered.
You think so?
Yes, I believe so.
Wow.
And you see, it's funny when you hear people say that, oh, we don't need more lawyers, we need other professionals, we need accountants, we need engineers and all of those things. But you see, they are mutually exclusive.
Okay.
Having more lawyers has nothing to do with having more engineers. Yes, we do have more engineers and other professionals, but what has that got to do with having lawyers? And also, you cannot just speak in vacuum. What is the data analysis? What are you looking at to say these
have
things?
more
Are you
lawyers.
just saying that
So
we have more
what does
lawyers?
having more lawyers do for a society?
Well, you see, we need to have, you see, the ratio of lawyers to citizen averagely needs to be 1:250.
Is it?
Currently in Ghana, we have 1 lawyer is to 5,000 citizens.
My God.
I heard of
Yes.
So we are under lawyer.
We are under-lawyered. But people see the numbers and they say, oh, why are you producing too many lawyers? But we are under-lawyered. You see,
1:5,000.
1:5,000. That's the ratio. A lot of people are in jail now because they came to court without representation.
Exactly. Lawyer.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't make their case. So they are sleeping, they are lying in jail.
So if you had more lawyers,
We have more
they would be
lawyers, a lot
forced
of-
to look for cases,
Right.
and they would get into all those
Right.
guys on remand.
A lot
and-
of cases in
Wow.
court now should not be there.
Wow.
Transactions gone wrong. If you had spoken to a lawyer, if you had sought legal opinion, you probably wouldn't have ended in court now. You know,
Okay.
so we need lawyers. You need a lawyer. Every other person, you need to talk to a lawyer. You always need a
Wow.
legal advice in taking every step. It
very
is
true.
important.
Wow. I didn't know this. So we are under-lawyered in Ghana. When we come back, we'll talk about their dreams. This is the point of view. Tonight, we're dealing with new professionals. We understand some doctors will also graduate soon. We'll bring them on the point of view as well. We want to look at the future. What do these people think about the continent and the rest of the years ahead? Stay with us. Welcome back. The point of view tonight, we're having a conversation with 3 new professionals. Over the weekend, 777, it's very prophetic. 777 new lawyers called to the bar, and we had 1,133 new chartered accountants, a few of them associates, a number of them full members. I have in studio Kekeli Akpalu, who works with a firm, but you work with a normal firm. It's not an accounting firm, but you're an accountant.
Yes, please.
An accountant. And I have Martin Wana Ang, who is the best graduating student for the 777. A couple of years before this was the best graduating student for the KNUST faculty as well. He was the law students president at the time, and he won a couple of prizes here. Gertrude Emefadonko is the first elected female SRC president of the Ghana School of Law,
Yes.
which brings together all the law schools. And she was also the best graduating marketing student for her MBA program at UPSA. So she's Legon, UPSA Gimpa. He's KNUST, and he's UPSA. So quite a broad. So now, which schools offer law now? Do you know? So Tech
does, Gimpa does, UCC, Central University, UPSA,
and Legon
Zenith, yes.
and Zenith.
Yes.
Yes,
Quite a
CAF,
lot.
we have CAF.
CAF.
as well.
What about UDS?
The UDS in what I learned they've started offering law, and then also I've also heard about Ashesi University.
Okay, they also want to start.
I learned they've actually started.
So your dream of getting more lawyers will happen.
Yes, and I just wanted to add to that the people see lawyers, a lot of lawyers in Accra, and then they assume that we have so many lawyers. But when you go to the hinterland, like where I'm coming from, you see
Where are you from?
Upper West region, specifically Jirapa.
Jirapa.
Yes, you realize that most of the people who become lawyers, they are not actually there. So when it comes to these petty crimes, people will not get lawyers to represent them in court, and then you have a situation where people who are deserving of legal representation will be arrested, put in behind cells Friday to Monday, so that the 48-hour rule can be sidestepped. You get it. But because there's no one to go and speak to the police to ensure that this are adhered to, then they suffer the breach of their rights. And so we actually need more lawyers who are going to...
But if all of them are in Accra, so for example, because you are the best graduate, I'm sure you got a lot of offers, and therefore you are in Accra.
Well, so another challenge is the fact that we say that most of the opportunities are in Accra, and so we need to open up opportunities. But with law especially, you can find opportunities everywhere. Maybe if you want to work in the public sector, if you go to the Upper West, for example, we have the Attorney General's Department, we have Legal Aid. Legal Aid is actually understaffed, and then I spoke to a lawyer, and he said when he was there, he, like a first-year lawyer at the bar, was handling like over 20 cases at the Legal Aid.
Wow.
And every day he's in court.
So there's a lot of work in the regions, but all of us are in Accra.
So,
wow.
And then these people, they keep on coming every now and then. It's not just about criminal cases. They have maybe divorce, contract, and then especially in those areas, the trend I have studied is that whilst at law school, so I had the opportunity to assist some people. These guys, they entered into a transaction. He was a mobile money agent, and then they had a contract where someone will give him the money to run the business, and then they will share the profit and then all that. The money got missing, and then they turned the matter into one of defrauding by false pretense when it's a simple contract. But because he doesn't know the law, so they said that he went to lie.
So basically, a civil case became a criminal matter.
And these days, it has become too rampant. You see where a
so
civil
if you were
breach
there,
of contract,
you would have solved this problem.
of course. But I
So
mean,
what would it take for you to go there?
I mean, you don't necessarily have to be there to be able to do some of these things.
So you're able to help?
Yes. We need, once we have a functioning legal aid department, that is why the Constitution or the...
So when you say legal aid, MFA, what does that? I hear a lot of people talk about legal aid. Is it like a pro bono law service for poor people, or what is it?
Well, yes, you can tell me that way.
So who pays the lawyer who does legal aid? Is it the state?
The state.
Yes, state does.
So can you volunteer some of your time to do legal aid, or that's a path somebody can follow as their full course? How does it work?
It's an institution actually established by the Constitution.
Is it?
And then there's an act of parliament backing it. So the state has a duty to ensure that that office is staffed with lawyers to support poor people. It's part of the ideals of the...
And is that legal aid in every region?
Yes, it's supposed to be in every region by the dictates
It
of the
doesn't work.
Constitution. But you see that most of them are not properly...
So in Ghana, law is still difficult for poor people. If you don't have access to money,
You don't have access
because
to
your
money.
time is expensive.
Yes. And one of the things that we are taught at the law school is to do more of pro bono cases.
Okay.
Because you need to know that not everyone can afford the fees when it comes to legal representation. So I would also use this opportunity to encourage my colleagues, let's do more of pro bono cases so we don't have people who don't have the resources, you know, to hire lawyers. They are rotting in jail simply because they don't have the resources.
Do you also have pro bono accounting? You sure?
Yeah. We
So
do.
a small company that's now starting can hire accountants
Yeah,
and
I
they will do it for
one
free?
for about 2 small.
No, but I'm talking about the structure. So in the legal profession, you have a structure for legal aid. Do you have something like accounting aid?
I doubt.
Or you don't have that?
No.
I don't think there is.
What do you think will make Ghana become the kind of country we want? Let me start with you. Because you all think Ghana can do better. What do you think we need to do to become the kind of country our kids will be happy to grow up in?
First of all, I think right from the top is the renewing of our minds. Once we don't renew our minds, I don't think the structures can be there, everything can be put in place. But once the mind and heart is not it, trust me, nothing will go on.
So renew our mind into what way?
Into first accepting the country we are in, and then accepting that, okay, this is where I am. I need to make it a better place for myself and for my generation.
Okay.
Yes. Once we don't think and want to accept that, trust me.
So a lot of people feel Ghana is not where they are supposed to be, so they are not committed to the country.
I think so.
But you will stay here.
I want to stay in Ghana.
If you get a job in
Once I get
the US, will you go?
Once what I'm doing here is paying me well, I can take care of my family.
What if the US one is paying you better?
That's what it is. But I believe even in the US, I don't think everybody is so comfortable.
So you want to stay here and work here? Renew our mind?
Yes. Yes.
So, MF, what do you think we need to do? You said the problems are everywhere.
The problems are everywhere, and I agree. It needs to start from us as individuals.
Okay.
Change of mind, change of attitude, change of heart. And interestingly, we say these things at this level.
Yeah.
Some way, somehow, when you get to the top, people change. I don't know. I was having this discussion with a friend of mine recently. I don't know what happens to us. I believe that those are the top also once said that when I get there, I won't do the things, and then for some reason. So let's work on ourselves. Let's work on our attitudes, our minds, and don't change. We need to know that you are not doing this for yourself, but you are doing this for your generation, and generations to come. And together we can make Ghana a better place, if you ask me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yes, I agree. I think the problem is psychological. As
Psychological.
Abochi will say, like he believes that, you know, aside the law, the law cannot bring about change if the individual in power doesn't have or doesn't believe that the law should be used as a tool for change. And so, for example, we've put in place systems and laws to ensure that there are limits to government power, but then those laws will not bring about the limitation of government power if the one holding that position does not believe that the powers he has should be limited. He believes that, okay, because I'm occupying there, I can do whatever I want.
But shouldn't the system circumscribe such a person? So there's executive, there's legislature, there's judiciary. So let's assume you have somebody who is president who doesn't believe in that. Isn't the system designed to check that? Shouldn't Parliament be able to say, no, even though you think this, we're not going to allow you to do that?
Yes, there are those laws, but then you see, I mean, our constitution doesn't allow for the strict form of separation of powers. We have this hybrid. So we have majority of members of parliament being appointed as ministers of state. If those people, there's a government policy which concerns the ministries, and those ministers are the majority in parliament, what do you think will happen? So that's just a rhetorical question. But so it's about the attitude of the one occupying that office, that he's there to bring about change. And once you believe in that and then abide by the principles that you as a person you believed you had when before you occupied that office, there can be positive change. Like Kofi Annan will say, to live is to choose, but to choose well, you have to know who you are. In Ghana here, let me see, we behave in such a way that we normally react rather than to act or take action. So when something comes, we wait to see rather than actually taking steps. So that's why most African countries have gone ahead of us. So we need that positive change or attitude or mindset to bring about actual change to the systematic the challenges that we're facing.
Today is what, October 14, 2024. Let's speak in 10 years if we are still alive, and let's see whether you would all be living.
We would. But let me just use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to the General Legal Council.
Wonderful.
I think they are doing a great job.
Yeah.
We've been crying for opening up legal education. This year we've seen that about 1,400 students were onboarded. It has never happened before. And kudos to the General Legal Council, the Ghana School of Law Management Director, Yao Kodi Okon. He's doing a fantastic job. We salute them all. And I think the conversation shouldn't be about numbers. It should be about producing quality lawyers, which I think the General Legal Council is doing already. So thank you.
Gertrude Emefa Donko is a newly minted lawyer, immediate part president of the, I don't even know what to call it, association or SRC of the School of Law, the Makola people. And then Martin Wanang. He's a big man. He's the best graduating, or he won the John Mensah Award, which is the best graduate, and of course he won other awards as well. And he's also a lawyer. They are both pupils. And our newly minted chartered accountant, Kekeli Akpalu. You still want to be a bank manager?
Oh,
now you've changed.
It's far gone.
When you were
I think
small.
when I was going into UPSA, that died.
It was killed
in the banking sector.
some way.
There's a lot
So
of
you just want to work
Yes.
and do well. Well
Yes,
done.
yes,
Congrats
yes,
to all of you.
Thank you.
Well, hope you've enjoyed having a chance to hear from these great minds. Thanks for watching tonight's edition of The Point of View. And I think they summed that up nicely. Go and be the difference you want to see in society. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.